Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Belsley, Hare,
Here.
Herman,
Here.
Kaufman, Newhouse. Here. Yarko.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Tonight, we do not have any public hearings, so we'll go into presentations and special reports. We have the privilege of having Dr. Lindsay Hall from the school district giving us a report on the county school facility sales tax. So if you would come forward, Dr. Hall.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me this evening, Mayor Derflinger and village trustees. I appreciate the brief time I have in front of you this evening to talk about the county schools facility sales tax. And I just have a very quick PowerPoint to go through. And should I just run over there and change it? Oh, okay. Thank you, Mrs. Farrell. It's not very long. I've also handed out a brochure to everybody, and then for audience members who want to take a brochure with them, there's a pile over there. Feel free to take those. We have more at the school district office. I just want to start off by saying that my goal tonight is simply to give out information about the county schools facility sales tax. I'm not here to advocate for or against the sales tax, but our goal is to just get information out to our voters so that people go to the polls on April 9th with an informed opinion and they can vote whichever way that they would like to vote. So again, my goal this evening is just to get the facts out there. You can go to the next slide. Thank you. Just a little bit of background information about the schools facility sales tax. Starting in 2007, there's a law passed in 2007 where Illinois has allowed counties to vote on a county schools facility sales tax. The legislature put this into place. So on a county-by-county basis, voters can go to the polls and vote in the county sales tax. And the way that the issue gets onto the ballot is that the school boards representing at least 51% of the students in the county must pass a resolution to put the question on the ballot. And so this question is appearing on the ballot on April 9th in Tazewell County. Every school district in the county except one passed this resolution either in late 2012 or early 2013. And so the school boards have done that. And certainly we have well over the 51% of the students represented by those school boards. The sales tax, if voted in, goes to school districts proportionately based upon student population in the counties that vote in this tax for specific uses that are related to facilities. There are 12 counties that currently have the sales tax in place in the state of Illinois, and it is on the ballot in 17 counties on April 9th. I want to talk a little bit about exactly what the ballot question looks like so that when our voters go to the polls, they know what they're voting for or against. The question is a little bit confusing. It doesn't really sound like you're voting in a county schools facility sales tax if you were to look at this question. So we want to make sure that our voters see what the question looks like before they go to vote on April 9th. And in Tazewell County, the proposition is for a 1% or a 1 cent sales tax for school facility purposes, and the ballot question reads, shall a retailer's occupation tax and service occupation tax, commonly referred to as a sales tax, be imposed in the Tazewell County at a rate of 1% to be used exclusively for school facility purposes? It's estimated that in Tazewell County, if the sales tax is voted in, it will generate approximately $12 million in revenue each year in the county. It's also estimated that 25 to 30% of this would come from consumers who do not live in Tazewell County but come here for various purposes to visit, shop, stay, all the different things that go on in our county. And the way that this sales tax would get divided up, that $12 million again goes to the county school districts on a proportionate basis based upon the students, the percentage of students that they have in their school district. Morton has about 13% of the kids, public school students in Tazewell County, and so for us this is about $1.6 million annually that we could have as a revenue stream that would help support building and facility issues. This sales tax, if voted in on April 9th, would take effect on January 1st, 2014. Items that are not taxed: cars, trucks, ATVs, boats, RVs, mobile homes, unprepared food, medicine, farm equipment, parts, and farm inputs. And a key I just always like to emphasize, a key thing here, is that if it is not currently taxed, it will not be taxed if the sales tax is voted in. So some of the different items that the county schools facility sales tax can be spent on: new facilities, additions and renovations, purchase of land, ongoing maintenance, architectural planning, large pieces of equipment, fire prevention and life safety, disabled access and security, issues related to energy efficiency, parking lots, demolition, roof repairs, and reducing property taxes that are levied to pay bonds that have been issued for capital purposes. The sales tax cannot be spent on direct instructional costs, textbooks, buses, smaller pieces of furniture and fixtures, tables, chairs, desks, that type of thing, computers, movable equipment, operating costs, and salaries and overhead. So there's some very specific guidelines for the use of this money, and these are the items that it cannot be spent on. So an important part of talking about this in Morton is to discuss a little bit about what does this mean for our local school district. All of the school districts in Tazewell County are going to have a different use for this money should it be voted in. We all have different needs and different ways that the revenue would assist with budgeting with buildings and facilities. But there are kind of three main points I want to look at here this evening as far as the Morton School District. The first point, and perhaps maybe the most importantly for our property taxpayers, is that we realize that through how public schools are funded in the state of Illinois, and in particular in Morton, that the burden of funding schools falls onto our local property taxpayers. The school board would like to offer some property tax relief through paying off some short-term working cash bonds. Instead of reissuing those bonds, we would then just not levy in the bond and interest fund, and we would be able to reduce the tax rate by 11 cents per $100 EAV. You can see that what this equates to for a $200,000 home. It's estimated that would be a reduction of $74 on one's property tax bill. And I can't stand up here and say that that's an even trade-off for the sales tax increase, but our goal is just to say to our property taxpayers, we do understand the burden that you bear in funding the schools locally. We have also created a very long and comprehensive 5-year maintenance and capital improvement plan. There are a lot of different projects that are on this plan, all of which need to be done as just part of the regular and ongoing maintenance of our 7 buildings in the Morton School District. One of the larger ticket items is a $2.5 million project to replace the heating system at Morton High School. And so we are moving ahead on that. How the sales tax would assist with that is that it would offset the use of property taxes for those different projects. And finally, the revenue from the sales tax can help with long-term financing of possible future building projects. It would decrease the obligation on our property owners should we need to look at building a new building or a major building project in the future. The sales tax provides an alternative source and borrowing capacity, resulting in less reliance on bonds that are supported by property taxes. So that is a very, very quick overview. Again, I appreciate the time so very much just to talk about this so that we can get the word out about this referendum that's on the April 9th ballot. And I thank you for your time. Thanks.
Are there any questions?
One of the questions I have, if the specifically, how do they decide if it's passed? Is it locally in each school district, or how does this
That's a
get
great
tabulated?
question. It's a simple majority in the county.
Okay.
And so it could pass in Morton, in the Morton School District, and that might not be enough to carry it, unfortunately, but it's not district by district. It's just a simple majority countywide.
And then even if in your area is tabulated that if you said no, if it was for the whole simple majority, you would still then participate in it, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Even if that's a great point, even if your local school district didn't vote for it, if it's still passed in the county, you would still receive the benefit, or you would still receive the revenue.
Question. You mentioned, I think, or else I read quickly in here that District 709 has about 13% of the student population countywide. Do you know what percent of the sales tax Morton generates countywide?
I don't know the answer to that question, Mrs. Herman, but I can certainly find that out.
That would be an interesting part of the dynamic to see, you know.
What proportion of the sales
Right.
tax
Do
Morton
we
residents
generate
generate
more or less than
countywide?
13%? Mhm.
Yeah. I'll look into see if we can get
Thank
some
you.
numbers on that. Great question.
Thank you.
Any others? Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate the time.
I have a feeling you probably have another meeting, so,
I'm just out. I wish I could stay.
all right.
PTO meeting.
All right, under public comments, do we have any public comments tonight? Okay. Request for removal of items from the consent agenda. The consent agenda tonight is approval of the regular meeting minutes of February 18th, 2003, approval of the bills. Ordinance number 12-26, an ordinance providing for the rezoning of the property at 440 Erie from B3 to I3. Second one is ordinance number 12-27, it's an ordinance amending Title 10, Chapter 2, Section 1 of the Morton Municipal Code, the definition of a day care center. And ordinance number 12-28, an ordinance amending the closing date of the agreement adopted under ordinance number 12-23, exchange of property between the Village of Morton and Sam Parrott. Are there any items on the consent agenda that the public would like to move down to action item 8, consideration of items removed from the consent agenda? Hearing none, may I have a motion from the board to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any
Comment?
discussion? Yes.
In item 1, it's, that rezoning is from B3 to I2.
Okay, sorry. I read it wrong. P3 to I2, thank you.
It's hard to read.
Anything else?
The redefinition of the daycare is just to also include adult
Adult
daycare
daycare.
services now. Okay.
Roll call.
Hare,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Newhouse,
Yes.
Yarko.
Yes.
Okay. Before I go any further, I do want to mention that on the agenda, item 14, approval of the purchase of a new ambulance from Alex Fire Equipment. We were not able to spend enough time to look at the bid documents versus the specifications. We'll be doing that over the next week or two, and hopefully we can bring this item back to the table. Under mine, since the agenda went out, I have received information that there is a chance that a warehouse facility may be coming to Morton, and we may need to look at the possibility of a tax abatement for that piece of property. I keep hearing in the community statements about giving money to various businesses or whatever. So I'm going to give a little bit of a teaching moment here. Forgive me, going back to my old days. In this case, the property brings into the Village of Morton $933 of real estate tax money a year. $933. This capital investment that would be coming to this property is approximately $5 million. $5 million warehouse. Once that warehouse is there and up and going, and a year later, when through the taxing cycle, that would bring in $9,031 to the Village of Morton. Now, we are not giving, if this company comes here, we are not giving this company any money. In fact, what we are giving is, we will not tax them let me get it here. I'm trying to see where it is. Basically, what I'm saying is we will receive the $933 that we always receive from the company, but we will not tax them the difference of the $933 and the $9,031 for a 5-year period. So what I'm trying to say here is, if this company does not come, we're not going to receive that real estate money. And if this entices, tax incentive, if this entices a company to come, we will receive our $933 for 5 years, and then we will receive the $9,031 for as long as that building is there, considering inflation and all of those types of things will change these numbers. Now, these numbers are as of right now. They do change a little bit, but not the $933. That's what we did receive. So the reason why I'm bringing it is there is a chance sometime in the future that this company, and press, before your eyes get too shiny, I do not have any names on any paperwork on what company this is. So I'll save you the phone call. But that's kind of in a nutshell. A little bit different than we've done in the past. It's a little larger percentage for the 5 years. It's 95% rather than 50%, but that's what it takes to somewhat entice this business to come to town. These, by the way, are not, if this business does come to town, these businesses are not minimum wage salaries. They are above minimum wage.
Is there an approximate number of jobs that would create? Or do you have that information?
Not a lot, because it's a warehouse. This will benefit the school district, the park district, and the library a great deal, because of the school district, of course, as she said, the majority of tax money, property tax, goes to them. The park district, they live a lot on real estate taxes as well, probably especially the library district does. So anyway, that may be coming. There may also be another one coming down the road that we may talk about the next meeting or two. Piece of information is all. Do you have anything tonight?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Madam Treasurer.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
You have anything?
Oh, no, you can ask the chief of police.
No, I'm going out of order this time.
Okay,
That's how I keep you awake.
good idea.
Assistant Chief.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Chief.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Mr. Luttermilk.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Mr. Spangler.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
All right, let's go to trustees. Mr. Hare.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Mrs. Herman.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
And Mr. Newhouse. You've got a bunch here tonight.
I have several items, Your Honor, thank you. Item number one is approval of a special use permit for the operation of an adult daycare center at 730 West Jefferson. This is the property formerly occupied by Rogies Learning Place, adjacent to Brandonwood Retirement Home. And I am delighted to announce this evening that the Plan Commission has unanimously recommended approval and this is something that Morton has probably needed for a long time. It will provide facilities and care for seniors or other adults who need a place during the day where they can go and be in a safe environment and looked after in the absence of being in a family environment. So it's an outstanding addition to Morton, and that was the basis, incidentally, for the amendment to the daycare ordinance, which now includes adult daycare centers. So move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Herman,
Yes.
Newhouse,
Yes.
Yarko,
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Motion's passed.
Next item is preliminary plat approval for Fieldstone subdivision. This is basically the next section, opening up Section 2, provides for 35-foot setback requirement to be revised to 25 feet in order to accommodate the berm at the rear where it's adjacent to 150 and water detention. Also unanimously recommended for approval by the Plan Commission. So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Roll
Would
call.
you just repeat that, the 25-foot, what did you say on that?
Typically, we have a 35-foot
Yes.
setback requirement.
Yes.
Because of the available space between the street and the rear properties and the requirement for a berm, similar to the one that you see at, say, at Summerfield. And for water detention, this allows for a 25-foot setback instead of the typical 35, consistent with other similar actions in the past.
Is that on all the lots in this?
Just
particular-
for this section.
This section.
Any other question? Roll call.
Newhouse,
Yes.
Yarko,
Yes.
Hare,
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Preliminary plat and approval for the Zimmerman subdivision. That's the property adjacent to the former Dr. Patton's office on Jefferson Street, and that is a simple replatting of the residential house portion from the former office part, which is the new home of the Morton Community Foundation. And that is simply a remedy to manage the property and divide the business portion from the residential portion. So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call.
Yarko,
Yes.
Hare,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes. Okay, next items are reappointments for the Plan Commission Zoning Board of Appeals. I am honored to be able to name Grant Barton and Mike Warham for reappointment to the Zoning Board of Appeals. They've served for years with distinction and are highly valuable in managing the community's business, and I recommend passage. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? I just note that I'm in agreement with these appointments. Roll call.
Hare,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Yarko.
Yes.
Also, on the Plan Commission, Laura Elam, Gerald Ritterbush is the current chairman, and Don Westlake have all agreed to serve again. Again, many years of service with distinction. Pleased to recommend approval. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? I again am in agreement with these. Roll call.
Herman,
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Yarko.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
And the last item, Your Honor, is a recap of the zoning map revisions for 2012, and I'm going to ask Mr. Spangler to just quickly take us through that.
Just to make everyone aware that all the maps have been updated for the year. All the changes that this board would have approved this past year are represented on there. Anybody that wants a copy, a paper copy, can let me know and I can get it. But they're all available to view on our website. That's the zoning map, land use map, planning map. They're all there and they're all updated, so. Anybody wants any other information, let me know.
Okay, you want action on that then?
Yes, we need approval, so move for approval.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Who did I start with? Newhouse.
Yes.
Yarko.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Anything else?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Mrs.
Sorry.
Yarko.
One quick item. It's time for the spring hydrant flushing, and that starts on March 17th. And it'll go for approximately 3 weeks. You can get information on Channel 22 on that, and some people may experience low water pressure and possibly discoloration. That'll take about 3 weeks. That's all.
Thank you. We have closed sessions tonight. The first one being for the purpose of discussing the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body pursuant to Section 2C5 of the Open Meetings Act, and the second discussion of sale of property owned by the public body pursuant to Section 2C6 of the Open Meetings Act. May I have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Yarko.
Yes.
And there won't, motion passed, and there won't be any action afterwards.